Good morning. Today in integral calculus we will study integration of rational functions by partial fractions. First of all, we should know what is integral calculus. We know that differential calculus is centered on the concept of derivative. The motivation behind is the problem of defining tangent lines to the graph of function and calculating the slope of such lines. And motivation behind integral calculus is the problem of defining and calculating the area of the region bounded by the graph of the function. Suppose we are given a function f which is differentiable in an interval I. It means f is differentiable at each point of I. We denote the derivative of f by f dash. Suppose f dash is the derivative of f. Then there is a natural question that if f dash is given at each point of I, can we determine the function? If such a function exists, then we call this function as a antiderivative or primitive of the function. And this process is called the integration or antidifferentiation. And the formula that gives the antiderivatives is called the indefinite integral of the function. So the integration is the reverse process of differentiation. In the differential calculus, we are given a function and we find the derivative of differential of this function. But in integral calculus, we find the function whose differential is given. Suppose derivative of capital Fx is small fx. Then we write integration of small fx dx equal to fx capital Fx plus c. And these integrals are called indefinite integral and the c is called the constant of integration. And all the integrals differ by a constant. So the development of integral calculus arises out of solving the problem of finding a function whenever the derivative is given, and the problem of finding the area bounded by the graph of a function under certain conditions. And these two problems lead to the two forms of integrals. One is indefinite integral, another is definite integral. So together, indefinite integral and definite integral constitute the integral calculus. From geometric point of view, indefinite integral is a collection of family of curves, each of which is obtained by translating one of the curves parallel to itself upwards or downwards along the y-axis. So there are several practical problems where the process of integration is involved in science, engineering, economics, finance, probability and so on. For example, if we know the instantaneous velocity of an object at an instant, then it is a natural question that can we determine the position of object at an instant. So to obtain the position of the object at an instant, we need to integrate this velocity. We already know the formulas for the derivative of many important functions. From these formulae, we can write down immediately the corresponding formulae for the integrals of these functions because we know that integration is a reverse process of differentiation. Suppose we know that derivative of x is 1. It means integration of 1 is x plus c. Derivative of sin x is cos x. It means integration of cos x is sin x plus cx. So these are some of the formulas which you have studied in high school classes or inter classes. So I am not going to discuss all these, but you should remember all these formulas by heart. These are also some of the formulas like derivative of ex is ex and integration of ex dx is also ex plus c. We know that derivative of log x is 1 upon x, integration of 1 upon x dx is log x plus c. So remember all these formulas by heart in order to study integral calculus. Today we will study the integration of partial fractions. So we will integrate the rational functions using partial fraction. We know that rational function is defined as the ratio of two polynomials in the form px upon qx. Here px is a polynomial of x, qx is a polynomial of x, and qx is not equal to 0. If the degree of px is less than the degree of qx, then the rational function is called the proper rational function. Otherwise, it is called improper rational function. However, every improper rational function can be reduced to proper rational function by long division process. We have studied how to divide a polynomial px by a polynomial qx in our high school classes. So you use that method to reduce the given improper rational function to proper rational function. Suppose px upon qx is improper rational function. Then we can write px upon qx equal to tx plus p1x upon qx, where tx is also a polynomial in x and p1x upon qx is a proper rational function. So the rational function which we shall consider here for integration purpose will be those whose denominators can be factorized into linear and quadratic factors. Suppose we want to find the integration of px upon qx, which is a rational function, where px upon qx is a proper rational function. So it is always possible to write the integrand as a sum of simpler rational functions by a method called partial fraction decomposition. And after finding the partial fraction of this rational function, we can easily carry out the integration of this given rational function. So here are some of the standard forms of the rational functions. Suppose a rational function is of the form px plus q upon x minus a into x minus b. Here x minus a is a linear factor, x minus b is also a linear, and both are different. So in this case we will write partial fraction as a upon x minus a plus b upon x minus b. We can write px plus q upon x minus a into x minus b as a upon x minus a plus b upon x minus b. If in the denominator we have x minus a whole square, in the numerator we have px plus q, here x minus a is repeating twice. Then in this case we will write as a upon x minus a plus b upon x minus a whole square. If we have cube here, then we will add one more term here, c upon x minus a whole cube, and so on. Suppose we are given a function of the form px square plus qx plus r upon x minus a, x minus b, x minus c. Here in the rational function we have three factors in the denominator. One factor is x minus a, another is x minus b, third one is x minus c, and all these are linear. This was a case for two linear factors. This is the case of three linear factors. So here we can write in the same way a upon x minus a plus b upon x minus b plus c upon x minus c. If we have one more factor, then we will write d upon x minus d, and so on. So in case of linear factors, we always write a upon first linear factor plus b upon second linear factor plus c upon third linear factor, and so on. If the rational function is of the form px square plus qx plus r upon x minus a whole square into x minus b, then we will write here the first factor is repeating twice and the second factor is the single factor. So this one is repeating twice. So we know how to write the partial fraction for it. A upon x minus a plus b upon x minus a whole square, like here. If we have the power 3 here, then we will add one more term, c upon x minus a whole cube, and so on. And for another factor x minus b, we will write c upon x minus b. So if the factor is repeating, then we first write first factor, then the power 2, and keep increasing the power according to this function. And if the rational function is of the form px square plus qx plus r upon x minus a into x square plus px plus c, then we write it as a upon x minus a plus bx plus c upon x square plus bx plus c. Whenever we have a quadratic factor here, then we write it as bx plus c, b into some constant into x plus c. This is the case when we have quadratic factor in the denominator. For the linear factor, we know that we write a upon x minus a. And here this is the quadratic factor which cannot be factorized. If we can factorize it, then we can write it in the form of two linear factors, and in that case we will write like this. But if we cannot factorize this quadratic factor, then we write bx plus c upon x square plus bx plus c. Here all a, b and c are real numbers which we will determine according to our given question. So now we will study how to integrate a rational function using a partial fraction. For the sake of simplicity, I have considered only simple question, so that you know the method how to find the integration of rational functions using partial fraction. And you can attempt any question from the exercise using the formulas which you have studied earlier and using the method you have studied earlier in your school classes. Suppose this is a function we want to calculate. Here it is a proper rational function, 1 upon x plus 1 into x plus 2. So this is a proper rational function. If it is not a proper rational function, we will reduce it to proper rational function, but it is already a proper rational function, so we can write it as a upon first linear factor plus b upon second linear factor. This we discussed in the last slide. We have two linear factors in the denominator, so we have written a upon first linear factor plus b upon second linear factor, and we will determine a and b in our next steps. So if we take the LCM on the right hand side, the LCM will be x plus 1 into x plus 2. So we can write it as a into x plus 2 plus b into x plus 1. Here also the LCM is same, so we can cancel the LCM from both sides. So we can write a on left hand side 1, and on the right hand side we have a into x plus 2 plus b into x plus 1. This you know how to solve it. Now we will find these constants a and b. So for this, first of all we will equate the coefficient of x on both sides. The coefficient of x, if we multiply inside by a, we get ax plus 2a plus bx plus b. So coefficient of x here is a, coefficient of x here is b, and coefficient of x here is 0. It means a plus b equal to 0. If we equate the coefficient of x on both sides, we get a plus b equal to 0. Now we see the constant term. This side we have 1, this side we have 2 here, and outside a, so 2a. Here we have 1 here and outside is b, so this is b. 2a plus b equal to 1. So by equating the coefficient of x and constant terms, we have two equations here, and you know how to solve these two equations. If we solve this equation, first we will get a equal to minus b. If you substitute here, you can get the value of b. So if you solve this equation, we get a equal to 1 and b equal to minus 1. And if we substitute the values of 1 and a and b in this equation, we get 1 upon x plus 1 into x plus 2 equal to, in place of a we can write a 1, and in place of b we can write minus 1. So we have reduced the given proper rational function into two partial fractions. Now we know how to integrate these. So integration of this rational function is equal to integration of 1 upon x plus 1 dx minus integration of 1 upon x plus 2 dx. We know that integration of 1 upon x is log x. So both are linear factors. So we can use the formula like the integration of 1 upon x, which is log x. So integration of x plus 1 is log x plus 1. Integration of 1 upon x plus 2 is log x plus 2. Here this is minus sign. And we know that log of m minus log of n is log of m upon n. So it is log of x plus 1 upon x plus 2 plus c. Now we will find the integration of x square plus 1 upon x square minus 5x plus c dx. Here it is a quadratic polynomial and this is also a quadratic polynomial. So here also the power is 2, here also the power is 2. It means it is not a proper rational function, because this is a proper rational function only if the power of or degree of polynomial in the numerator is less than the degree of polynomial in denominator. If the degrees are equal in numerator or it is more than the degree of denominator, then we make it first a proper rational function. So for this we will divide x square plus 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6, divided by using our old long division method which we have studied in our high school classes. So if we divide x square plus 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6, we get 1 in the quotient and 5x minus 5 is the remainder. You can do it. So we can write it as 1 plus 5x minus 5 upon x square minus 5x plus 6. Now this is a quadratic polynomial. We will try to make it break it into linear factors. So we can easily factorize it, because 6 is nothing but 2 into 3 and 5 is nothing but 2 plus 3, and outside we have minus sign. So we can factorize into x minus 2 into x minus 3. So we can write this given rational function, which is not a proper rational function, as 1 plus 5x minus 5 upon x minus 2 into x minus 3. Now this is a proper rational function. Here the degree is 1, here the degree is 2. Now we will write the partial fraction of this 5x minus 5 upon x minus 2 into x minus 3. So I can write it as a upon x minus 2 plus b upon x minus 3, because x minus 2 is a linear factor and x minus 3 is also a linear factor and both are different. So I can write a upon x minus 2 plus b upon x minus 3. Now we will determine these a and b. Here on the right hand side, if we add these two, the LCM is x minus 2 into x minus 3. Here on this side also the LCM is x minus 2 into x minus 3. So we can cancel these on both sides. So we will be left with 5x minus 5 equal to a into x minus 3 plus b into x minus 2. You know how to add these polynomials and get this equation. Now to find the values of a and b, first of all we will equate the coefficient of x on both sides. Here the coefficient of x is 5 on left hand side. On the right hand side, coefficient of x is, here we have x, if you multiply by a, so it is ax, so the coefficient is a. Here it is x, so if we multiply by b, then it is bx, so coefficient is b. So here we have coefficient a, here we have coefficient b, here we have coefficient 5. So a plus b equal to 5. Now the constant term. Here the constant term is minus 5. Here the constant term is minus 3 into a, minus 3a. Here the constant term is minus 2 into b, minus 2b. So everywhere we have minus sign. So we can write it as 3a plus 2b equal to 5. So these are the two equations which we obtained on equating the coefficient of x and equating the constant terms on both sides of these equation. And we know how to solve this equation. If you will solve this equation, you can multiply first equation by 3 and subtract these two to get the value of b. Also, in second case, you can multiply first equation by 2, subtract the two equation and get the value of a. So if you solve this equation, you get a equal to -5 and b equal to 10. So it means you can write x square plus 1 upon x square minus 5x plus c equal to 1 plus, it is 1 plus this fraction, and this fraction is equal to a upon x minus 2 plus b upon x minus 3. So a here is -5 upon x minus 2, b here is 10 upon x minus 3. So to find the integration of this function, we will find the integration of this function, and it is easy to calculate the integration of this function because these are simple rational functions which are proper rational functions. So we already know the integration of this function. So the integration of this is nothing but integration of 1 plus integration of -5 upon x minus 2 plus integration of 10 upon x minus 3 dx. So integration of 1 is x, integration of 1 upon x minus 2 is log x minus 2, 5 is constant, so it will come outside -5. Integration of 1 upon x minus 3 is log x minus 3, so it is -10 log x minus 3 plus c is a constant of integration. So now we have seen that how to integrate a rational function which is not a proper rational function. So remember, for all the question, whenever the function is not a proper rational function, first of all divide the numerator by denominator and then reduce it to partial fractions. Now we have one more example. How to find the integration of 3x minus 2 upon x plus 1 whole square to x plus 3. Here in the denominator, x plus 1 is a factor which is repeating twice, and x plus 3 is a simple linear factor. So in this case, we will write a upon x plus 1 plus b upon x plus 1 whole square because it is repeating twice. Again, the third is c upon x plus 3. So now we know how to write the function of different forms into the rational, into the partial fractions. Now you know how to add these functions. The LCM will be x plus 1 whole square into x plus 3. So on the right hand side we have 3x minus 2. Because the LCM is same on the both sides, in the denominator we have the same term, so I have not written in the next step. So here in the first term we will have, in the denominator we have x plus 1 and LCM is x plus 1 whole square into x plus 3, so it will be x plus 1 into x plus 3 plus b into, here we have x plus 1 whole square and the denominator is x plus 1 whole square x plus 3, so it is b into x plus 3 plus c into x plus 1 whole square, because LCM is x plus 1 whole square into x plus 3 and here we have x plus 3, so it is x plus 1 whole square. So multiply these two, so we will obtain x square plus 4x plus 3. This is x plus 3. Open the square, x square plus 2x plus 1. Now we will find the values of these a, b and c. So first of all, equate the coefficient of x square on both sides. Here we don't have the term containing x square, so the coefficient of x square this side is 0. Here for the coefficient of x square, here we have x square into ax square, so coefficient is a. Here we don't have x square term. Here we have x square, so coefficient of x square is c. So on this side we have a and c. So a plus c equal to 0 because this side The coefficient of x square is 0. Now we will compare the coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is 3. Here the coefficient of x is 4 into a. 4a. Here the coefficient of x is b. Here the coefficient of x is 2 into c. 2c. 4a plus b plus 2c equal to 3. Now we will compare the constant terms. Here the constant term is minus 2. Here the constant term is 3 into a. 3a. Here the constant term is 3 into b. 3b. Here the constant term is 1 into c. So it is c. So on comparing the coefficient of x square, x and constant term on both sides of this equation, we get a plus c equal to 0, 4a plus b plus 2c equal to 3, 3a plus 3b plus c equal to minus 2. So you can solve this equation to get the values of a, b and c. You can shift c to other side, get the value of a equal to minus c, substitute the value of a here, substitute the value of a here, you will get the equation in b and c. And from these two from the two equations obtained by substituting a equal to minus c, we obtained the equation in b and c, and from there you can get the value of b and c. If you obtain the value of b and c, substitute it back here, you will get the value of a. So if you solve this equation, you get a equal to 11 upon 4, b equal to minus 5 upon 2, and c equal to minus 11 upon 4. So the given rational function 3x minus 2 upon x plus 1 whole square x plus 3 can be written as 11 upon 4 into x plus 1, because a is 11 upon 4, minus 5 upon 2 x plus 1 whole square, because b is minus 5 upon 2, and minus 11 upon 4 x plus 3, because c is minus 11 upon 4. So now we can integrate this rational function, because we have decomposed it into partial fractions. So integration of 3x minus 2 upon x plus 1 whole square x plus 3 dx is equal to 11 upon 4 integration of 1 upon x plus 1 dx, minus 5 upon 2 is constant, integration 1 upon x plus 1 whole square, 11 upon 4 is constant, minus 11 upon 4, 1 upon x plus 3 dx. I have written the constant terms outside the integration sign because we are integrating with respect to x. Inside here we have 1 upon x plus 1, here we have 1 upon x plus 1 whole square, we have 1 upon x plus 3. We know how to integrate it. Integration of this is log x plus 1, integration of this is log x plus 3, and this is the term of the form 1 upon x square or x raised to power minus 2. We know that integration of x raised to power minus 2 is x raised to power minus 2 plus 1 upon x raised to power minus 2 plus 1. It means x raised to power minus 1 upon minus 1 or minus 1 upon x. So its integration is minus 1 upon x plus 1. So here we have minus sign, so plus 1 upon x plus 1. So we know the formulas for integrating these functions, because all these you have studied in your high school classes. So we know that integration of log m minus log n is log m upon n. 11 upon 4 is constant in both the terms. So 11 upon 4 log x plus 1 upon x plus 3 plus 5 upon 2 x plus 1 plus c. So we have obtained the integration of this proper rational function, in which we had in the denominator x plus 1 whole square and x plus 3. This is a linear factor and this is also a linear factor, but it is repeating twice. So now we will integrate the function x square upon x square plus 1 x square plus 4 dx. I am trying to take example of each kind so that you understand how to solve the rational functions using partial fractions. So for this type of functions, here also you have x square, here also you have x square, here also you have x square. So you have same term everywhere. So it will be easy for us to solve this type of function by substituting x square equal to y. If we substitute x square equal to y, then we will get y, this is y plus 1 and this is y plus 4. So now we have this simple rational function. It will be easier to decompose it into partial fraction as well as to find its integration. So this can be written as a upon 1 plus 1 b upon y plus 4. Because it is y plus 1, it is y plus 4 and both of these are linear factors. So a upon y plus 1 plus b upon y plus 4. Here the LCM will be y plus 1 into y plus 4. So on this side we have a into y plus 4, b into y plus 1. On this side we have y. I have not written the denominator because on the both sides we have same denominator, so we can cancel it. So to find the values of a and b, we compare the coefficient of y on both sides. Coefficient of y here is 1. Coefficient of y here is, if we multiply by a, it is a. Coefficient of y here is, we have b outside, so it is b. So it is a plus b equal to 1. Now we compare the coefficient of constant terms on both sides. Here we don't have any constant term, so we will write 0. This side we have 4 here, so 4 into a, it is 4a. Here we have 1, 1 into b is b, so 4a plus b equal to 0. So on comparing the coefficient of y and constant term on both sides, we get a plus b equal to 1 and 4a plus b equal to 0. And you know how to calculate these. First of all, you must subtract these two and get the value of a. Then multiply first equation by 4 and subtract the 2 and get the value of b. So we will get a equal to minus 1 upon 3, b equal to 4 upon 3. So we can write this given rational function x square upon x square plus 1 into x square plus 4 as a is minus 1 upon 3 into x square plus 1 plus b is 4 upon 3 x square plus 4. I have substituted the value of y because y is nothing but x square. So this is x square plus 1 and x square plus 1, 4. You can do it in 2 steps also. First write y plus 1, y plus 4 here. If you substitute the values of a and b here, then substitute the value of y, which is x square. I have written it directly because y is x square and a is minus 1 upon 3 and b is 4 upon 3. So this given rational function is equal to this function. Now we know that integration of this is of the form 1 upon x square plus a square. So integration of 1 upon x square plus a square is 1 upon a tangent inverse x upon a. This formula also we know. So we will integrate as minus 1 upon 3 tangent inverse a is 1. So tangent inverse x. Here it is 4 upon 3. It is 4 upon 3. Here x square plus 2 square means 1 upon 2 tangent inverse x upon 2. In place of a we have 2 here. In place of a we have 1 here. So remember the formula of integration of 1 upon x square upon a square dx, which is 1 upon a tangent inverse x upon a. Using the formula we get minus 1 upon 3 tangent inverse x and 1 upon 2 tangent inverse x upon 2. Outside the coefficient is 4 upon 3. So on simplification this will be 2 upon 3 tangent inverse x upon 2. So remember one thing, that this substitution is made for the partial fraction part only, not for the integration part. If we make the if we substitute it for integration, then we will differentiate it to change the dx also. But this substitution is for the partial fraction only. Now suppose we want to integrate 3 sin phi minus 2 cos phi d phi, 5 minus cos square phi minus 4 cos phi, sin phi d phi. So to integrate such type of function, first of all, make some substitution to reduce it to some proper rational function which is easy to integrate. Suppose we substitute y equal to sin phi here, because outside we have cos phi, so I have substituted y equal to sin phi. So dy is equal to cos phi d phi. Because here it was cos phi, that's why I have taken sin phi to be y. So it means this integration is equal to 3y sin phi is y, 3y minus 2, 3y minus 2, and cos phi d phi is dy. Here it is 5 minus cos square phi can be written as 1 minus sin square phi, because sin square phi plus cos square phi is 1. So cos square phi is 1 minus sin square phi, so it is 1 minus y square, and minus 4y, minus 4y. So if you simplify it, 3y minus 2, y square minus 4y plus 4 dy. And if we factorize it, it is 3y minus 2 upon 1 y minus 2 whole square dy. So our given integration 3 sin phi minus 2 cos phi upon 5 minus cos square phi minus 4 sin phi, this term reduces to 3y minus 2 upon 1 minus phi 2 whole square. Here we were integrating with respect to phi, here we are integrating with respect to y. So this integral is equal to this integral. Suppose we substitute it equal to I. Now we will reduce it into partial fractions. So this factor is repeating. So 3y minus 2 upon 1 minus 2 whole square equal to a upon y minus 2 plus b upon y minus 2 whole square. Now I think you understand how to write the partial fractions. On the right hand side, we have in the denominator y minus 2 whole square. So it means 3y minus 2 is equal to a into y minus 2 plus b, because in the denominator here you have y minus 2 whole square. So here it is only b. If you compare the coefficient of y on both sides to get the value of a, here the coefficient of y is 3. Here the coefficient of y is a. Here we don't have y term. So a equal to 3. Now the constant term. Here the constant term is minus 2. Here the constant term is minus 2 into a. Here the constant term is b. So b minus 2a equal to minus 2. A is 3, which we have obtained automatically. If you substitute a equal to 3 here, so it is minus 6. So if you shift to this side, minus 2 plus 6, which is 4. So b is 4. So it means a equal to 3 and b equal to 4. So our given integral, which was 3y minus 2 upon 1 minus 2 whole square dy, which we obtained on substituting y equal to sin phi, and becomes I equal to 3 upon 1 minus y minus 2 dy, 4 upon y minus 2 whole square dy. Because a is 3, b is minus 2. Substitute the values here. So 3 upon y minus 2, 4 upon y minus 2 whole square. Now you know the integration of 3 is constant. Integration of 1 upon y minus 2 is log y minus 2. It is the term of the form 1 upon x square, whose integration is minus 1 upon x. So it means minus 1 upon 1 y minus 2 plus c. Always remember the integration of x raised to n is x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Here the power was minus y. If you take it up, shift it to the numerator. So the power is y minus 2 raised to minus 2. So minus 2 plus 1 upon minus 2 plus 1. Above you have minus 1, below you have minus 1. So minus 1 upon y minus 2. If you substitute y equal to sin phi back, so it will be 3 log sin phi minus 2 plus 4 minus sin phi minus 2 plus c. So it is sin phi minus 2. If you write 2 minus sin phi, take minus common, so it will become plus. So 4 upon 2 minus sin phi. we know that the value of sine phi lies between -1 and 1. So 2 minus sine phi is always positive. So instead of modulus sine, I have written 3 log 2 minus sine phi plus 4 upon 2 minus sine phi plus c. Now one more type of rational function. Suppose we want to find the integration of x square plus x plus 1 upon x plus 2 x square plus. Suppose we want to find the integration of this function. So first of all we will decompose into partial fraction, and in the denominator here we have x plus 2, here we have x square plus 1. We cannot factorize into linear factors, in fact into real linear factors. So this is a linear factor and this is a quadratic factor. So we can write it as a upon x plus 2 plus bx plus c upon x square plus 1, because we have learned that for the case of quadratic factor we write the term in the numerator as bx plus c. Always remember it, whenever you have the quadratic factor in the denominator, in the numerator you will write bx plus c if it is not possible to reduce it into partial fractions. So the partial fraction of x square plus x plus 1 upon x plus 2 into x square plus 1 will be a upon x plus 2 plus bx plus c upon x square plus 1. So LCM here is x plus 2 into x square plus 1. So it will be a into x square plus 1. It will be bx plus c into x plus 2. Here also the numerator is, denominator is same. So it is x square plus x plus 1 on the left hand side, and a into x square plus 1 plus bx plus c into x plus 2. Now we will find these values of a, b and c. Now to find the coefficient or value of a, b and c, we will equate the coefficient of x square, x and constant terms on both sides. So here on the right hand side the coefficient of x square is 1. Here the coefficient of x square is a if we multiply by a. Here the coefficient of x square is, here you have bx, here you have x. So if we multiply these two, bx into x, bx square, so coefficient of x square is b. So a plus b equal to 1. Now the coefficient of x is 1. Here the coefficient of x, there is no term of x, so 0. Now the coefficient of x here, it is better to multiply it first if you have some problem in writing, but I am writing it directly. So coefficient of x, if you multiply bx by 2, you get 2bx. 2bx, the coefficient of x is 2b. If you multiply by c, you get cx. Coefficient of x is c. So here you have no coefficient of x. Here you have one coefficient of x. Here the coefficient of x is 2b and c. So 2b plus c equal to 1. Now the constant term. Here the constant term is 1. Here the constant term is 1 into a. Here the constant term is 2 into c, 2c. So a plus 2c equal to 1. So on equating the coefficient of x square, x and constant term on both sides, we get a plus b equal to 1, 2b plus c equal to 1, a plus 2c equal to 1. So you can easily solve this equation to get a equal to 3 upon 5, b equal to 2 upon 5, c equal to 1 upon 5. So now the given rational function x square plus x upon x plus 1 upon x plus 2 x square plus 1 is equal to 3 upon 5 into x plus 2. Substitute the value of a here. B is 2 upon 5, 2 upon 5x. C is 1 upon 5, so 1 upon 5, x square plus 1, so it is x square plus 1. So this function becomes 3 upon 5, x plus 2, 5 is LCM here, so 2x plus 1 upon 5, x square plus 1. Now it is easy to find the integration of these functions. So integration of this function is equal to integration of this function. because these are two different functions. So I will find the integration of this separately and integration of this also separately. So this is equal to 3 upon 5 is constant, 3 upon 5, 1 upon x plus 2 dx, and this is 5 is constant, 1 upon 5, 2x plus 1 x square plus 1 dx. So integration of this is nothing but log x plus 2. To find the integration of this, you may substitute, you may first break it into two parts. So it is 2x upon x square plus 1, 1 upon x square plus 1. So 1 upon 5, 2x upon x square plus 1 dx plus 1 upon 5, 1 upon x square plus 1 dx. So to integrate this part, substitute x square plus 1 equal to t. So if you substitute x square plus 1 equal to t, you will get 2x dx equal to dt. So here you will have dt upon t. So integration of dt upon t is log t. So t is nothing but x square plus 1. So I have written directly 1 upon 5 log x square plus 1. So if you substitute t here, so in place of t you will again write x square plus 1. And you know the integration of 1 upon x square plus a square, which is 1 upon a tangent inverse x upon a. In place of a you have 1 here. So 1 upon 5 tangent inverse x plus c. So you already know the formulas to integrate the given function. Today we discussed the integration, how to do the integration of rational functions using partial fraction. Thank you.